007 First Light didn't just get delayed out of nowhere. This is strategic because one GTA 6 move, the industry move with it. Publishers know one thing for sure. Do not launch near GTA, do not compete with GTA, and you definitely don't get buried by GTA's release window. So when GTA 6 slid, it created a domino effect, and First Light was caught right in that blast radius. Delay isn't about panic, it's about survival. And why it happened tells us a lot about how fragile release windows really are right now going into 2026.
Are you one or to take?
GTA 6 moving later didn't just remove pressure, it created opportunity. With GTA 6 now landing much later in the year, 007 First Light suddenly has 6 months of runway all to itself. That's huge. It means Bond can launch, breathe, build momentum without getting instantly buried by the biggest game of the decade, some would say. That extra space changes everything. Marketing can ramp up properly. Trailers, preview, hands-on coverage, word of mouth can spread, all without competing for headlines for GTA. Players have time to play it, buy it, talk about it before GTA 6 dominates the conversation. This delay wasn't about dodging GTA anymore, it was about positioning ahead of it. Studios know that once GTA 6 arrives, spending and attention locks up for months. So launching 6 months earlier gives Bond a clean window to establish itself and cash in before storms hit. So this delay isn't defensive, it's strategic, because in today's industry, it's not just about launching for it first, it's about launching at the right distance from a giant that is GTA 6. All right, like the intro say, hey, 007 has been delayed. You can see their announcement. They're delayed until the 27th of May of 2026. So it's not a big delay. It's 2 months, and we already reported on this show that once GTA 6 was gonna get pushed back, a lot of earlier the year games was probably gonna get pushed back too, just because they now, I mean, if you would have saw before, it was really crowded. It was really crowded before
Very,
GTA 6 release
very
date, and
crowded.
now that it's gone, it has nothing to fear. You can push back 2 months, 3 months, and feel like you have enough room to breathe. Your game has enough room to breathe. So this doesn't shock anybody. You shouldn't be worried. It doesn't mean, now this is not to say that something's wrong with the quality of the game. We're not saying that, and I don't think this delay say this. I think this is just a big fish left the pond. That is the earlier part of the year, and now all the little fishes have room to breathe to swim. And I think it has a lot of that, because GTA 6 controls the calendar. GTA 6 just isn't a game. It's a marketing event. It doesn't happen every year, even every 5. Shit, sometimes even 10, you go 10 years without the game, 13 years without a new GTA 6. So it's a big deal, and publishers do not want to compete for attention. They don't want to really compete for player wallets, and they don't want to get buried in the coverage that will be GTA 6. History shows studios actively, and when I say, I want to emphasize, they actively avoid GTA launches, and that's not to be surprised, just for all the reasons we just said. But why does this 007 game need space? They need cultural attention. It needs to be some narrative focus around them, room to establish its identity. And the biggest reason why this is a big topic is that the fact that AAA games cost too much to take a hit that would be you launching too close to GTA. And like we said, they actively avoid GTA's release windows. And one mega game, I hate to say it, but GTA has the power to freeze the entire market that is the gaming industry. For studios, I'm sure that was like working on Bond, they was probably tracking anything and all news from Rockstar about the release window. At first, GTA 6 should have been already out by now, if I remember the original release date, and then it got delayed to the top of the year. And so people was like, all right, let's just come out, before them. Well, we can't really hold the game off too long. Let's just go before them. And then once they got news that GTA delayed again, I'm sure the Bond people was like so ecstatic because they don't want to wait to put the game game out. Then they still don't want to like be right next to their release date. So once GTA was like, nah, we at the end of the year, we out. I'm sure that was a lot of silent releases of just, oh my God, thank God, in the studio. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be an issue. I don't think there's a quality problem. I don't think this is a Mass Effect thing where people didn't know what the game was until they saw it at the game show. If you don't, if you know what I'm talking about. So I think 007 will be fine. I think it's okay. I just think it wants some more time to, really ramp up and show the game and really get the momentum train where it needs to be, because this is a AAA release game. So, and it's been a long time since a 007 game. So I'm sure they want they want some focus on them. And 2 months is not a long time to delay. I'm not really upset by it, to be honest. But let me ask you this, Infamous. Is it healthy for the industry that GTA 6, GTA games period, has this much power that they can literally shift the industry to which way they feel like, just because they put up a release date?
GTA games inject growth into the industry. And by that, I will say this. There are many people have said, there are many analysts who predict that GTA 6 will move consoles. GTA 6 will get the PS4 and the Xbox One players off their ass and jump into the current, about to end now, generation. You have people on PS4 who are like, why do I need a PS5 when GTA 5 is still on here? Fortnite's on here. Every big major game and or franchise is still available on PS4s and Xbox Ones. GTA 6 come out and it's already been reported, hey, this is a PS5 and Series X only console. So that being said, you want to play the new hotness, you need to spend some money. And unfortunately for those people, they'll be entering into a very inflated and kind of fucked up market, because as we've mentioned before on this podcast, we got our systems and still have our launch day $500 systems. Xboxes are up to $800 last time I checked, and the PlayStations I think was just a measly $50 increase. But even still, normal times a PS5 probably been maybe $300 by now. They would have benefited, but now it seems like they're being punished in a sense. But because GTA is such a huge culture juggernaut, people will spend, and they will spend by the truckloads to now get into PlayStation and Xbox's current ecosystem.
Okay, that's fine and dandy for Nintendo. I mean, not Nintendo, but Sony and Xbox. But that benefits them and interjects money into their wallets. But I'm more referring to game studios and game makers and publishers, that the games don't benefit from GTA 6.
Oh yeah, well I hadn't got to that aspect yet.
Now
the
Well,
negative side to that is GTA stifles and kind of freezes the market. I think we talked about, I can't remember whether it was on the show or not, but it's projected no game should release within like a 90-day period before or after GTA comes out. And even then, it's kind of like, will you still get some type of impact? Now, thankfully, GTA comes out, well, actually not thankfully, since it got pushed to the end of 26, that's the holiday period, there are many games now that need to think, hey, should we launch up? Which is going to push crunch, which is going to lead to a possibility of a more buggy, unstable release, or a delay and you miss a crucial holiday high spending. GTA can benefit and also hinder. A good example would be Silk Song, and I think it was the game Hell Is Us. When Silk Song announced when they were coming out, everyone, indie-ish wise, moved their game. Hell, most of them made it public why they were doing it. You had one company that was like, hey, we good. We're going to put our game out. We're not worried. And they have not done the numbers. And the game has went on sale, I think 2 or 3 times now, pick up ground where they lost. GTA coming out, and like you said, companies are like, yo, don't go near it. We will not make money. And adding on to the high cost of the ecosystem, I'm sorry, not the ecosystem, of how things are going. Like you said, not all those games take too much money to make. Games cost too much money. We keep hearing this analyst talking about GTA should be $100. It could get away with that. Your average consumer now is going to look at it like, all right, this is what I have to buy for the next X amount of months. Do I buy this game which will give me 30 to 40 hours of enjoyment, or you're going to buy Grand Theft Auto, which will last you years. Years. It is a detriment. There are some games that probably will suffer. There are some games that will get moved up, moved out. My biggest concerns are, shame to say this, it's Call of Duty, because GTA will and is one of the only non-annual franchises that has ever competed and outdone Call of Duty as far as money gained in an X amount of time. And PlayStation's Wolverine was set to be a holiday 2026 release. I'm sure executives at Sony are like, yo, what do we do? Because no matter how much gravitas or buying power or fandom Marvel has with its fans, Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto. Plain simple and period. It can inject money and get new players and etc. But then it can also be such a hindrance. And then I heard you saying something about Nintendo. Some people that really ain't got to worry about nothing is Nintendo fans, because it ain't coming out on them. It ain't coming on their platform, and it's not coming
Yeah.
out on PC.
Allegedly,
But
there's rumors of
allegedly,
ports,
yes.
but
Let's
I'm
cover
don't think
ourselves.
that
Allegedly,
I don't think that's gonna be reality.
yeah.
Eh,
But
yeah.
I would say it is somewhat bad that this one game, this one IP holds so much weight over the entire industry, over platform. Because as we talked before this, and when I got the news that this game was being delayed, the first thing that came to my mind is this will not be the first game to do this. March of next year.
I feel like they already done it. Like a lot of games that were announced at the Game Awards, they're in that GTA original release window, or at least the
Oh
one that
yeah,
was
but
supposed to
I
be.
mean, so
They're already doing it. They're already moving games
oh yeah,
back.
yeah.
They're already so it's not when they're already doing it now, and
Yeah, no,
so
I meant more games that we've known, because March and February were a very thick stacked months for next year. So this was set for March. Now they've delayed it to May. There's Crimson Desert that's set for March, another huge title that I'm looking for. And now that GTA is moved, it's like, okay, we can breathe, guys. We can relax now. I wouldn't be surprised if Crimson Desert like, hey, we're gonna move this till April, just to, like they say, give more space to polish and get everything together, especially with both of these
there ain't
games.
no more polishing. They're trying to just, ramp up their marketing as much as possible. In my
Oh,
eyes,
absolutely.
they're not touching the
That's
game.
corporate talk.
The game is finished, people. They're
The
just
game
trying
is
to
finished.
get
Well, actually,
they're trying to get the marketing and all that, the marketing machine even more wound up before, they let the toy go across the table. Listen, this has nothing to do, like I said, I don't think 007 has anything, to polish. I mean, maybe they're working out some bugs, possibly, but at most, this is just them trying to give their game the room to breathe and not have February stacked and March stacked with back to back to back to back to back games. That's what I'm
so
saying. More delays will
I'll
probably
give you
happen.
that. I'll give you that with the March stack back to back thing. But I implore you, and I implore all viewers, go back and watch the revealed gameplay that they showed for 007. There was a lot of choppiness and frame drops that was going on. Now, of course, you can chop that up to it was an earlier build of the game. It was just something they wanted to show and get off. That could have been fixed. Absolutely not. I can't remember what engine is being used for this. If it's Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5 has been taking a lot of L's with the instability of games launching. So it could be either or. It could be them getting their marketing shit together, a few more polishing touches. I've said numerous times on this show, no one wants to be the next CD Projekt Red. And as my cousin just reported, and I will add to this, 007 is not it is the newest James Bond game in a very long time. And thankfully, it is not tied to a movie, unlike other releases are. So you can take away the woes of a licensed game, but at the same time, it could be a new franchise for them. It's a new product. You have people who don't know who the hell James Bond is, these younger generations. So to hit on this, it needs to come out of the garage. All cylinders running, paint spotless, shiny, nice and clean. But absolutely, I do agree. Two months.
Yeah, 2
What can you
months.
get done in 2 months
In 2
besides
months,
just more marketing?
in 2 months, and that's why I said they're gonna have time to drop, more gameplay, more trailers, so that's what I think the 2 months is going, them releasing more of a polished product, more gameplay, that's probably at peak capacity of the output of the Unreal Engine. They can give out trailers, weapons, probably some sneak peeks and stuff like that. That's what I think the 2 months is gonna be filled with, and rightfully so. Like, hey, it's a AAA game, no telling how much money is spent. And so they're trying to get the biggest numbers they can get for launch day. And, we'll see. Like, was a game that I was interested in, so I am waiting to see more gameplay, more trailers to see. I won't buy it on day one because I'm just not that type of game consumer anymore. I have to wait and see some feedback, see some walkthroughs before I dedicate, $70 or something. But yeah,
Absolutely.
but hey, that is 007 statement on the screen. It is delayed, but it's not by much. So we'll see. We'll see how it do. We'll see if the extra 2 months is to the benefit of the launch numbers, or if hey, 007 is just gonna do what it's gonna do, and that's gonna be it. I don't really know how many people are excited about the 007 game. So definitely comment below. Are you looking forward to it? No,
I am.
I'll be really interested in the response of this game when it does release next year.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?